Always start with nothing. Always start with nothing, with your eyes closed, standing still, like you've never seen anything before. Let the light come in slowly and the images take shape. Let your jaw drop in wonder at the cumulus cloud, piled up like pillowy fleece against an extravagance of blue valor whose end you cannot see. Let your breathing stop in disbelief as you press down naked feet on blossoms of clover and walk aimlessly through a riot zone of wildflowers whose names you'll never know. Let the follicles in your ears come erect in rapt attention at the notes of music perfectly sung by that wild feathery thing which just landed in a pyramid of green. Let the buds of your mouth swell at the prospect of incising those circles of red, yellow, orange, or green that mysteriously hang by the fragile stems and pendulate alluringly in the wind. Let your nose and lungs fill with the ambrosial perfume of a wine-colored rose, and come to, looking up, astonishing at how something so delicate could put you flat on your back in the grass. To open to a world of wonder, simply start with nothing. And these beautiful wise words from Ryan Thomas. So welcome here at our Sensecast, the ABCs of Sensemaking. And when I think about the ABCs, I immediately think about school, about learning, and definitely not studying. And it should be fun, but that we also experience life through the ABCs initially and numbers. We get to know about life through the ABCs. Completely disconnected learning experiences and discovery experiences. Very strict, lots of tests we have to perform. We are compared with others on how we now perceive this apple. But we don't. That first association in our brains and minds are not with the full life cycle of this apple. We don't taste, we see a picture of it, and then we see the words apple, A-P-P-E-L-E. So our mind makes an association with the color, with the shape, and with the letters. Not through direct personal experience where we hold it in our hands, we feel what it feels like, we take a bite, that sensation in our mouths, following that sensation as it goes down our gustatory system, into our tummies, the realization that it provides us energy, that we can move around, it metabolizes, it changes form from matter to energy. We don't make that discovery because our first associations are with those letters, the shape, and maybe the color. We have no idea where it comes from, where it's been on its journey to find its way towards us. What was that soil like? What was it like to walk on that soil with bare feet? The process of preparing this soil for the seed to be planted, that it can grow into a seedling and then into a beautiful tree and an orchid, that all the intelligence was already in the seed, just like you. In the womb of your mother, all the intelligence and sensibilities that you need right now, all the abilities, you simply need to activate them and make connections between different things, which is about your awareness of self, of others, the world, possibilities. But going back to that apple, how that soil was beautifully prepared. Who did it? The farmer and his workers. What was that farmer like? What was his feelings about life? How did he see life? What was the relation between him and his workers? How did he feel about what he was growing there and producing? How did that apple find its way to us? Through the warehouse, the market, into our own hands. What was those people like? What were they like? How did they experience life? What was their families like? Where did they come from? How do they see the world? An expanded, direct experience versus somebody telling me about something and I learn about life, how it works, about myself, through instructions of others, through their eyes and perceptual and psychological lenses, which can be highly limited, through their wounded experiences. We are told about life, the ABCs, numbers, and instruction. Not the authentic discovery experience. And when I do buy the apple, I can just toss the plastic somewhere if it was in a container. I toss it carelessly, I litter it, with total disregard who it affects and what it affects. The earth, the ocean, other creatures. And that is what awareness is all about. When we talk about awareness, it's our sense of connection to everything around us. The impact we have with our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, our sensations, our actions, our words, impacts everything around us. 8 billion other living beings, organisms, the earth, the universe, the sky. But because we experience life in such a disconnected way, where all our senses are not even connected, where we don't even make the connections between different things because we enact all our intelligences. And by the way, we have 42 intelligences that we are aware of that we can tap into. We don't have to learn about it in a book. We can simply connect with it and tap into it and stimulate it and nourish it and strengthen it and enrich it by our other experiences, our own experience of life. It takes me back to this beautiful wisdom of Paulo Coelho. Why are we here exactly? Is the question I ask. What is it here that we should come and experience? And he says, we are travelers on a cosmic journey, stardust, swirling and dancing on the edges and whirlpools of infinity. Life is eternal. We have stopped for a moment to experience and encounter each other, to encounter life itself, to meet, to love, and to share. This is a precious, precious moment in this present moment. It is a little parenthesis in eternity. Beautiful. Connected to all things, interrelated to everything around us. We can no longer have any excuses to live unconsciously. Now, the other day, I was walking here on the beach, and I'll show you a picture of it. And I was completely taken down into space where I felt so much shame for us humans of what we are doing, all this plastic here. And I'd like to invite you just for a moment to look at this visual and just notice what happens in your body. Are there any specific sensations that you experience when you look at it? We don't even worry about our thoughts, what we think about it. Simply, what happens to your body? How do you feel about it? And there are so many ways these days because we live in such a beautiful, interconnected world through the internet, communications, and mobile technology, where we have access to all this information. We can't anymore say we didn't know. But we have to go from a level of awareness, we have to increase our own awareness of how everything is connected and the impact we have every day, to consideration of different habits, different actions, and to really embody it, to implement it. But because we have gaps between these, between awareness, becoming aware of something, somebody tells us about something, to go to the action part, that impulse must come from inside. That we truly want to do it ourselves. Somebody can't put this responsibility upon us. And again, that's where sense-making comes in to assist us in the process. Now let me share another beautiful visual experience with you. To give you a sense of sense-making, I can talk for hours about the ABCs of sense-making itself. We have lots and lots of very playful, amazing, very prolific processes and practices and techniques that we can use in all sorts of different contexts. The sky's the limit. There's no limit, actually. Besides that, it nourishes and stimulates and supports all our sensibilities, receptive, creative, presencing, processing, and generative abilities. It brings so much beauty into our lives. So sit back and relax and enjoy this visual experience with me for a while. We're not speaking, simply tuning with it, with all your sensibilities, no matter which one is the most prevalent at this moment in time, whether it's taste, touch, smell, hear, see, your intuition, your imagination, your sense of connectedness, your sense of direction, your own rhythm, the movement of your blood through your body, your awareness of that, no matter what it is. Simply be with this visual experience for a few moments. And simply notice what comes into your awareness. It could be a feeling, a sensation in your body of warmth or cold or contracted or expansive, of beauty. It could be words, sound, a memory, an idea, a stream of consciousness coming into your awareness. Simply notice. How do you feel about this visual? What emotion does it bring up? What is your idea about your thoughts? What state of being does it take you? A state of equilibrium, of beauty, of calm and peace, of curiosity, of wonder and awe, of being held, of being cared for, of revitalization, of vitality, of nourishing? Does it stimulate all your senses? What does it tell you today about your own life in this moment in time? Something that you're busy with, something that you want to bring into the world, something that you're curious about, that you want to explore more. Maybe a relationship, maybe your career, maybe your personal life, how you feel about yourself. Simply notice what this beautiful visual is telling you about yourself and your own life at this moment in time. This version of you. And simply note it down. Become aware of it. And sense making is very important these days. Not trying to figure life out to make sense of it, but to sense in with all our sensibilities to what's happening around us, what's busy emerging, to stay deeply connected to it all, to create our own livelihoods, because we are no longer guaranteed of a job or a company where we walk in and everything is ready for us. We don't have a sales and marketing division if we're an entrepreneur. We have to tell the world about ourselves. There's no financial department taking care of our financial affairs. There's no recruitment, an HR division that will recruit people on our behalf to help us make our dreams come into reality. We need to gravitate towards those who's like-minded and like-hearted, and make ourselves visible to those and aware of ourselves to those who are at this moment in time requiring what we bring, that will value it, that will deeply feel grateful for it, that will treasure it as a beautiful treasure, which it is. We have to self-organize. We have to self-generate our opportunities, and moreover, we need to be ready and agile and flexible to adapt to whatever situation comes, so that we can apply and share and articulate clearly what it is that we bring into that context. It's no longer just the same thing over and over and over. A lot of versatility. It's good for us. Our cells and neurons love it. To imagine what's possible, to virtualize it, to be able to visualize it, to be able to embody it, to presence it, that others can see it in us, that we can strengthen our relations not only with others and the world, but also with our own self-awareness and our own inner voice. I hear many times that, especially our younger ones, tell me they don't know what their intuition is about, this inner voice. It's not the voice of our inner critic or the judgmental one of our wounded self. It is our pure, true, best self's voice, who knows the best for us. Nobody else outside can tell us what to do, but we can tap into the collective wisdom to guide us along the way. And these days we live in a very conceptual world. It's a conceptual age. We need to be able to conceptualize things and to give it context, meaning, and purpose. And to weave different parts together that's coming on our way. And with all this information overload, we use our sensibilities, our creative abilities, our receptive abilities, our processing abilities, because we don't have much time these days to process things. Life is too fast. To decide and discern what's best for us in this moment, what to keep, what to add energy to, what to include in what we're busy with, what to park for a later time, and what to totally disregard at this moment in time. Because we know it affects everything around us, and our own ability to live a joyful, abundant, prosperous, meaningful life. Sensing into the world around ourselves, which we are part of. We're not separate, so we're never alone. And even if we do feel depressed, we can come to a state of equilibrium, to revitalize ourselves, to reorientate ourselves if we feel lost, directionless. We connect to our sense of direction. It's within our bodies. It's our own internal GPS. We stimulate our cognitive abilities, our somatic abilities, our embodiment abilities, of embodying something that we encounter, to see if it feels good in our own bodies, to actually take this step, to do this activity, to engage in this type of discussion, this type of forum, this type of group. There are so many ways that we can enact sense making. And the sensing part is first, and then the making part. And then we also have embodied sense making, which is another process that we add onto it, where we now move in it. We breathe it. We feel what it feels like to breathe this experience. This wisdom, this knowledge that came to us, this possibility, to feel it in our own bodies, how comfortable we feel with it. Where do we have resistance? Where do we have to work on ourselves? What limiting beliefs and mindsets and thoughts and emotions do we need to let go of? Beautiful processes weaved all together in the sense-making experience. And I can talk about it for you with ages, but the best is for you to experience either group or one-on-one experience yourself. That you can feel it, experience the flow, the natural flow, how you get magnetized to others who's like-minded like you. You gravitate towards them. You open up to serendipity and synchronicity, the unexpected. You benefit from the unexpected, the unplanned. You're at the right place at the right time with the right people, magically. And for us, magic is working with the most positive energy available in a situation. And that's what sense-making experiences assist us with as well. It could be a one-on-one. We have 2 different types that you can engage in online, wherever you are. Your own personal GPS to connect to that, to all your sensibilities and your sense of direction, your generative, creative, presencing abilities, your processing abilities, that's natural to you, you're in your element. Like food metabolizes in your body, you have all those metabolizing abilities to metabolize and internalize whatever has come into you through life and through daily life experiences. You can also join our monthly online themed experiences, no matter where you are in the world, in a group. So you get a sense of the group dynamics and how it plays out in a sense-making experience. How you can strengthen your creative and generative abilities through such processes, that you can apply it in any other context. And then we also have our sense-making salons for organizations. And we have our pop-up sense-making workshops. And there you will experience a whole process on a very, very intense, deep level. But it's joyful, it's playful, it's meaningful, it's significant. And it has impact. And we also have our Joy Sense happy hours all over the globe, on all 5 continents in 2019, where you can join us to have a taste of sense making. And I'm just taking back to what Paulo Coelho said. We stopped for a moment to encounter each other, to meet, to love, to share. You see, the sense-making experience, it transforms us. It's a bridge towards another reality, a one of abundance, of possibility. It's not a lack, scarcity-based reality, a needy-based reality. We know there's so much abundance around us that we can access, and we share forth. We listen to receive, not to understand, to evaluate, or to respond. And that allows us to go into this timeless space where everything is that ever has been and that will be, that we have access to. All the wisdom we need in a specific moment. And we experience it through our own senses. And our perceptive abilities become more clear. We have time to clear our own perceptive windows. So I'd love to experience this with you in other contexts. We have our Sensecasts, which you can download in different contexts, which give you a bit of a embodied experience. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground beneath your feet. Your own way of starting the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear listening to another. Start right now. Take a small step. You can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing close in, the step you don't want to take. David White. Start close in with your own sensibilities, your own sense of being, a state of being of joy, as we sense for joy in sense-making. And as we depart, take a moment to sense for joy when you engage again with this beautiful visual experience. Joy, joy, joy.